Small business and entrepreneurs are eyeing a multi-billion rand fund announced by government and business last night. It's aimed at supporting small businesses to create jobs. At the moment, the private sector says it's raised approximately 1 billion rand towards the initiative. Government is expected to make a contribution roughly equal to that made by business. The ultimate goal is to see the fund expanded to a budget of 10 billion rand. Well, joining me from our parliamentary studio, Small Business Development Minister Lindiwe Zulu. Minister, good afternoon and thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon and good afternoon to your viewers.
Minister, big business coming to the party on this occasion. I mean, starting off this fund with more than 1 billion rand. Surely that's something you want to hear.
Yes, absolutely. This is something that we look forward to as government generally, but particularly the Department of Small Business Development. As you're aware, we are 2 years in office, and one of the things that we have encountered throughout the length and breadth of the country is people asking for financial support, small businesses and cooperatives asking for financial support. And so an initiative like this that is initiated by the private sector, obviously with the discussions with government, is very welcome.
Minister, it's been a couple of months since you launched FinFind, which was an online solution to the lack of access to financing that you speak of. Are we seeing any results from that?
I can't hear you at all. If you don't mind, can you just repeat your question, please?
Minister, if you can hear me, we were saying that you launched the FinFind online solution for businesses to access funding. Are we seeing any results from that?
Yes, absolutely. When we look at the small and medium enterprises that have visited the site, it's been growing, and we can see that most of the people that have visited the site in the main are people who are in Gauteng as well as KZN, but clearly it indicates that it's people that have got access, and it's also people that are in the bigger towns where at least information is very accessible. So we're looking at how else can we be able to support others who are really far away from accessing this kind of information, and we're looking at upscaling even with this FinFind to see how ourselves as government can contribute towards increasing access to other people who are not necessarily in the big towns.
Some say that part of the answer could be that the ministry should do more to help small businesses actually link up and develop good relations with the big and established businesses. Is that part of the plan?
I didn't get you again. Unfortunately, the sound is really poor. Can you repeat your question again?
Minister, I was saying plans for small businesses to be linked up with developed and established businesses. Do you have that as part of your plan to help them establish relationships with bigger businesses?
Yes, absolutely. The very fact that we have the South African SME Fund, which is about accelerating the scale-up of jobs on high potential, it's not only about the money, it's also about those that have the experience, sharing their experiences with small and medium enterprises, and in particular in our townships, and focusing especially to those businesses that are black-owned, women-owned, and youth-owned. Because fact of the matter is that the majority of black people are many years behind in as far as their businesses, in as far as they are supposed to get support, and understand that, of course, government, on the other hand, if we're to look at how much money government has been putting in support of SMMEs, it goes over the current MTF is 15.5 billion. So look at that as against what business is also putting up. We also think that collectively we can work together to support SMMEs.
And the answers to some of that support, Minister, would be revealed in your post-budget vote address on Thursday. I suppose we'll get a sense of your department's priorities and programs. What's the main driver behind your priorities at the moment?
The main driver behind our priorities is creating a conducive environment for SMMEs to be able to operate. Simply put, making it easy for business to do their business, because at the end of the day, we do not do the businesses. It's the businesses themselves that have to grow their businesses. So we need to look at the environment, we need to look at the regulatory environment, we need to look at legislation, And also we need to look at what other financial and non-financial support do they need. Quite frankly, we need to upscale our support to small and medium enterprises, and we divide this almost to 3 areas. We're looking at the SMMEs that are almost making it, who are almost breaking out to be able to stand on their own 2 feet and not necessarily look out for government support. But we're also looking at those that are in the middle, that are doing very well. We want to make sure that they don't collapse, because it is said through research that most businesses would collapse after 3 years of operation. So it's our business to make sure that we support those ones. But we cannot afford also to ignore those that are at the entry level, because those are your startups, those are your new people who have got new innovations that will be able to support themselves and grow themselves. But by the way, we're also looking at the informal sector, because we are of the view that informal businesses are usually ignored. They don't have proper infrastructure. Hence our agreement to work together with the provinces as well as the local economic development structures to make sure that we have a coordinated approach to supporting small businesses.
All right, Small Development Business Minister there, Lindiwe Zulu. Thanks very much indeed for talking to us. We look forward to that address on Thursday.